So we've just printed out the lists and we've seen that we got rid of the heading here in the data. We got rid of distance, we got rid of time, and I'm now going to just comment this out because that's only for testing purposes along the way, so I can see how everything maps out and all that. So we have our distances coming first and then our times, and note how they align with each other respectively. So 1 meter here means it took 2 seconds, 2 meters was 3.8 seconds, 3 meters was 6.1 seconds, and so on and so forth. So that's grand, we're down as far as there. Now the next thing that we want to try and do is to carry out some analysis. Well, to do this we need to be able to work with numbers. So if you're trying to do some analysis in that, it's hard to do it, very hard to do it with strings. So we must basically change the list data, which currently contains strings. We must convert this to either a float data type or an int data type. Now it's your choice. I think I'm going to use float because well, I have to use float definitely for time because we have decimals, but I'm also going to use float for the times there, or maybe I won't. I know that the times are int. Yeah, I might leave the times is int there. So to do that, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for d in range. And now, how many times do I want to loop around? Well, I want to loop around the length of whatever, how many things are in the list distances. So this will say, okay, how many things are in distances? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 things. So the length of the distances list will be 10. Range 10 means it's going to loop around 10 times. D each time here now will become 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let me just print out D to prove that. Remember, it starts counting at 0, so it's going to go up as far as 10 but not include it. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lovely jubbly. We don't want that. We want to say, okay, distances D, so whatever that's going to be, and I'll do a bit of showing in a second. And we're just going to say, right, distances D here. So don't lose me on this. All I've done here is the first time using our range function, D is going to be 0. So this is saying go and grab whatever is in the distances list at index position 0, which is this string value 1 down here. If you see it, let me see. String value 1. Go and grab that, cast it to an int, and then overwrite what is in distances index location 0. So that will now overwrite this string value with an integer value 1. The next time it loops around, D will increment to 1, and this one will also be 1. But it now says, okay, go to your distances list, grab what's at index location 1, which is this was index location 0, index location 1, bring that back, make it an integer, which is turn the string value 2 into an integer, and then when you've got that, overwrite what's in distances 1. Of course, that's hard coding it there. We don't want to do that. We just want to use the looper variable or stepper variable there, D, to do that for us. And to make sure this is definitely working, let's print out the distances after we've got that. So we'll run this now, and you can see down here, and let's clear our shell just to make sure we've got this right. You can see you've got your distances, you've got your times, but now I've converted all my distances from string values into integer values. Okay, and we also want to do something similar for times. So I'm going to do here, again, I could use different stepper variables there. I could use jelly if I wanted, but I'm going to use T this time. Length of times, I could use the same idea here, and this is going to be the times list that you want to overwrite. And this time we must use float values, or you might get well, you won't get an error, but it's going to cast them all to floats. Oh, sorry, times, and we need to change that to T. So this is the same kind of idea here. I'm looping around again, whatever many times this is going to be. It's going to be 10. Going to loop around 10 times, and this is going to say, right, the first time T will be 0, T will be 0 here, and it says go and grab what's in your times list, go and grab what's at index position 0, which is this 2, bring it up, turn it into a float, which is 2.0, and overwrite what's in here with 2.0, loops around again. That'll go to 1, and then it'll go to 2, and then it'll go to 3, and so on and so forth. So if I show you here now, that's the loop looping around, and we just go print times, and happy days there. We've now converted our string data that was in the list into integer data for your distances, and into floating point data types of floats for your times. See you in the next video for the next part.